Hey, Brad Blackman here. Let me show you how I painted this piece. It's called Balance, 24 inches by 24 inches acrylic on canvas. With this painting, I began with a canvas that I had already toned with burnt sienna. Burnt sienna is the traditional color for a lot of canvas toning going all the way back to the Renaissance, I believe. It provides a real nice warm ground and kind of creates a good backdrop for creating a composition. I begin with Payne's Gray to kind of block in where I think the overall forms are going to go. I did this with a paper towel to kind of get a very, very loose arrangement of light and dark. Notice I have a whole lot of water in the paper towel and it's extremely wet, and I'm allowing the drips to just kind of go everywhere. At some point it may be a little much, so I will apply a lot more water to kind of get up some of that excess paint. In fact, I will start wiping away the paint in just a moment. Yeah, here's where I started wiping away a lot of the paint to kind of give it a little bit more depth and then adding it back. My painting is all about a back and forth. Once that layer has dried, then I just took the paint tube and drew on the canvas with the paint tube, squeezed out just enough to kind of draw on it like it was a crayon. Smear all that around and put in some contrasting colors here and there with the bright blue as well as a little bit of Payne's Gray to kind of create some dark areas. Then from there I just loaded my paper towel with yellow and white and kind of smeared all that around to kind of create a much more vivid piece. Water is my friend at this point. I don't want to get the paint too thick, so I spray it down and use a wet paper towel to kind of create a little bit more depth and texture. At this point I decided the light areas were not quite light enough, so I put in some titanium white directly. Notice it's pretty wet, so it's dripping all over the place. I love it. I love when the drips happen. I'm always going back and forth between different sizes for brushes or palette knives or even the paper towel size. Base layer has dried and I'm adding some more color to it. It's really all about pushing and pulling those layers. Since at this point the base layer is pretty dry and there's just a little bit of moisture on the canvas, I'm able to get a blend of hard and soft edges down the color with the palette knife. And I always want to try to get some neutrals in there. You see the neutral green and gray that naturally emerge from the way the colors blend together. That's one thing I always have to remind myself. Don't underestimate the neutrals. You want to have a few areas of really bright color and then a lot of neutral areas to let the bright colors really stand out. That spot in the top right, it lies pretty much on the 1/3 point. I'm really trying to like call out that eye, if you will. Finally, I touch up the focal point and make sure everything is just the right proportion for the rest of the painting.